Apple's slow and controlled approach is attracting more criticism than praise in a world where tech titans are vying to dominate artificial intelligence. Apple, which was once regarded as the epitome of innovation, is currently being subjected to a barrage of criticism regarding its AI strategy, leadership decisions, and product delays. There are increasing rumors that CEO Tim Cook may be guiding the company into uncharted and unstable territory. Let us investigate how Apple, under Cook's leadership, is addressing what may be its most significant challenge since the iPhone, ranging from shareholder litigation and internal leadership shakeups to fan disillusionment and analyst disappointment. Additionally, we will determine whether Apple has already exceeded its limits. 1. Apple Intelligence, the promise that set off a storm. Apple Intelligence was the long-awaited AI initiative that Apple unveiled in June 2024. It was marketed as a new layer of machine learning that was directly integrated into the iPhone, iPad, and Mac ecosystem. It was expected to transform the user experience by providing intelligent Siri, personalized content, and generative text and image tools. However, the thrill was short-lived. Although the keynote was as refined as ever, the subsequent events were characterized by delays, limited rollouts, and technical underperformance. Apple had relegated the majority of its significant Siri updates to a vague next-year timeline by 2025. Its AI capabilities appeared to be restricted, as they did not possess the same degree of adaptability as those of OpenAI's ChatGPT or Google's Gemini. The allegations that Apple had misled investors during the 2024 launch are even more concerning, as shareholders have filed a lawsuit. They alleged that Apple advertised features and prototypes that were not yet functional, resulting in a disconnect between promise and reality. 2. The Apple philosophy versus AI speed culture. Apple's philosophy is the fundamental cause of the backlash: precision, privacy, and polished perfection. This has been their distinguishing characteristic for decades. However, in the era of artificial intelligence, adaptability and speed are equally critical as refinement. Apple's reluctance to release features that are not fully developed has maintained the stability of its products. But it has also fallen behind in a world that values experimentation and iteration. Google, Meta, and OpenAI, among others, generate updates every week, train on extensive datasets, refine their algorithms with user feedback, and rapidly expand their capabilities. In contrast, Apple's AI features are frequently restricted to specific devices, endure months of optimization, and undergo rigorous internal review. 3. Privacy. Apple's strength is also its AI weakness. Apple's privacy-first strategy was a competitive advantage for years. They were proud to maintain the majority of user data on device, and to forego the mass data harvesting models employed by Meta and Google. However, this power has now become a double-edged weapon. In order to develop models that are capable of nuanced discourse, creativity, and reasoning, AI necessitates the use of vast data sets. It has been exceedingly challenging to develop genuinely sophisticated AI tools due to Apple's refusal to mine user data or rely on cloud computing. Apple Intelligence is also restricted in its capabilities, as it lacks real-time adaptability, extensive contextual understanding, and creative power. 4. Behind-the-scenes leadership changes. The indications of internal unrest are becoming more apparent. Tim Cook is said to have lost confidence in John Giannandrea, the executive who has been responsible for Apple's AI endeavors since 2018. Mike Rockwell, who had previously served as the director of Apple's Vision Pro mixed reality division, succeeded Giannandrea in a discreet manner. This type of leadership change suggests more than merely a new trajectory. It suggests a loss of confidence in the current vision. Apple's AI progress has been impeded by a lack of urgency, confusion over AI priorities, and tension between departments, as described in numerous reports. In a world where agility and disruption are indispensable, Cook's leadership style, which was previously lauded for its operational excellence, is now being scrutinized. 5. Fans and analysts are no longer impressed. The most disconcerting aspect of the backlash is that it is not solely emanating from outsiders, but also from long-standing Apple supporters and collaborators. The company's AI initiatives have been the subject of explicit criticism by prominent Apple bloggers and YouTubers. Apple declined to partake in interviews or product showcases that it had previously supported for more than a decade, as noted by numerous individuals. This is perceived by some as retribution for public criticism, which is a concerning development for a company that previously prioritized open communication with its creative community. 6. Siri, the issue that has not been resolved. Siri has consistently been behind Alexa, Google Assistant, and more recent AI models for an extended period. Its responses frequently appear to be antiquated, robotic, and excessively literal. Apple, once again, failed to fulfill its commitment to resolve Siri's issues through Apple Intelligence. 7th international strategy: delay and confusion. Despite Apple's efforts to increase its AI presence through international partnerships, these initiatives have elicited criticism. Apple has announced its intention to collaborate with local AI providers in China, such as DeepSeek. Nevertheless, the Chinese market is still unavailable to a significant number of Apple's promised AI features as a result of infrastructure gaps and stringent government regulations. 8. Brand confusion and mixed messaging. Apple's communication strategy is potentially the most detrimental. The company refrained from using the term AI for an extended period of time, instead opting for more mild terms such as machine learning or personal intelligence. They have now adapted the AI terminology in response to the pressure, but their tone is unusually cautious. 9. Innovation. Gaps cannot be disguised by financial strength. It is accurate. Apple remains one of the most profitable organizations in the world. In 2025, it reported quarterly revenue that exceeded $95 billion. However, there is a more alarming trend concealed beneath those figures. Key markets, such as China, have experienced a decline in growth. Final conclusion: has Tim Cook exceeded his limits? Tim Cook has guided Apple through over a decade of unprecedented development, ensuring that the company continues to deliver consistent shareholder value and expands its influence. However, the AI era necessitates a daring vision in addition to execution. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one.